This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, guys. Done with your installation?
Yes, Bhavya.
Fine. So, whatever it might be, you just install the database. The thing is, you need to run the queries, daily. For that, you need to have one server, right? So, it might be SQL Server or it might be anything. So, make sure it must be done at least by today. Now, without any delay, let us move on to the concepts. So, in the last class, we discussed about data types and the constraints, correct? So, while discussing about data types and constraint, I mentioned one point. Okay, like while creating a table, what are the things mandatory? See, if you want to create a table, what we should keep in mind. See, column is mandatory. So, see, creating a database, you can create just like this, like create database and database name. But you cannot create a table, create table name. So, what are mandatory? Columns are mandatory. If columns are mandatory, as a human beings, we know that what kind of data we can store in the column, we can do it. But server doesn't know that. So, for that, what we have to do? We have to give the data type for that column. So data types are mandatory. Now it's up to your wish whether you need to take constraints or not required. It's up to your wish. You can, otherwise no. Now the name itself is telling constraint. Constraint means a condition. Okay, the English meaning of constraint are condition. So I told you that DDL is a auto commit one auto commit statement, and DDL will not talk about the data. It will not talk about the data. What it will talk? It will talk about the definition of a table. It will talk about the structures of a database, views, and some other things. So if something is talking with talking about the data, then it is possible that we can write a condition. But DDL will not talk about the data. Hence, if you want to have the condition table before inserting the records, or else while inserting the records, you need to have a constraint. Okay, so you can have a constraint while creating a table, or you can have a constraint after creating a table also. Okay, so in today's class we are going to see how constraints are working, how we can have a constraint after creating a table. Those all things we can see. Okay, if you are uh, if you are not getting anything, stop me there itself, no worries in that. Okay, yes, fine. So I just created a sample 2 table with one column, and that too will. Okay, I want to create a table with um, unique is done check constraint. Let me take check constraint, check and not null also we will see now. Create table sample 3 of which is of int check, sorry, id, right? So id, let me take salary. name which is of varchar of 20. Why I'm not taking char? Why I am taking varchar? This is the question you need to answer. Okay, remember this. And the salary I'm just taking directly, salary I'm just taking. So salary is of money, right? So money I'm just taking. It's up to you that you can take int also. Okay, no one will tell you that why you have taken money. You can take int. Why you did not take an int? No, no such questions arises. Okay, but some other database money data type was not there. Only in the SQL server we have money data type. Okay, you can take int, you can take money, no worries. Now check sal should be greater than 500. So this is the so, but where we can check, okay, where we can see the constraints that are applying in the DML, we are going to see that. So while inserting the data, the constraints can be verified. Okay, the constraints can be proved. Oh, let me try to create this table. Which database? DB7, right? Manually I'm just doing this. You have to select and you have to execute. If you are not selecting, then every command in this uh, space, it is going to execute. Now the table created successfully. Now let me refresh this DB7. Expand the tables. So in the in the sample 3, let us see the case. See, this is the check constraint. See, constraint are different, keys are different. Okay, keys means foreign key and primary key only. Okay. So this is unique is a constraint, not null is a constraint, and check is a constraint. Now I have one check constraint. Okay, fine. Now the table got created already. Okay, sample 3 got created already. Um, okay, I want to create one more table here. Create table sample 4 of id, which is of int. This should be not null. Okay, the table got created successfully. See, don't think why Bhavya was creating these many tables. I will tell you. I want to show you a proof. Okay, now somehow primary key and foreign key I did not create it. I will be creating after this got cleared. Now sample 3 got created, sample 4 are also created, and we have many tables. I want to add one column to the sample 3 table. Now tell me, how can I add it? So, like, if I want to add, which means I am altering the table. One table is already existed, I want to change its definition. If you want to change its definition, you have to use alter command. So if you want to add column, you want to use alter command. Okay, don't tell me that once the table got created, now you got realize you want to add one column. Don't simply drop that created table. Don't do that. Right now we don't have any data so that we can drop it. But while moving, you are going to have a column. You're not going to have a column, but you are having a data inside the table. At that time you are not supposed to drop the table. Okay, remember that. So how can we add column to that particular table? That's my first question. Column to existing table. Okay, so how can we do that? By using alter command. Alter, what we want to alter? We want to alter the table. So like this we want to tell to the server. That's all. Don't do anything. Tell what are the things you want to do. You just tell to server, I want to alter the table. Which table? Sample 3. Okay, correct. Alter table sample 3. Okay, you told me that you want to alter the table. Fine. What you want to do? You want to add the column, you want to drop the column, you want to add constraint. What you want to do? I want to add the column. For that, use add keyword. Add column. Here you want to mention column name. See, in other databases you want to mention column keyword. See, this you have to mention. But in the SQL Server, mentioning the column is not required. Just try to add. Let me expand this one. Yes, we have 3 columns only, correct? Now I want to add one column called commission. Okay, commission column which is holding int. Okay, int is fine, no constraint, nothing. I want to add this. Now I will be executing this one. Remember, I am not compiling, I am executing. Okay, there is a difference between compiling and executing. I will tell you once we reach into advanced concepts. See, commands completed successfully. Where we can see this added column? In the sample 4, right? In the sample 4 table, I can see the commission column. Yes, wrong. You can see it in the sample 3. Okay, be alert. How can we see? Right click on the table, click on refresh button. Expand the columns, then you will see the commission column. So this is how you are going to add the column to the existing table. Okay, not to the non-created table, uncreated table, or which doesn't exist in the database. No, not to that tables. The table which we have created, it might be anytime. Before 1 year table got created and now you are trying to add a column. No worries. Database will not tell you that you have created a table before 1 year, why you are adding the column now. It will not tell you that. Okay, try to remember this point. Now I want to drop the column. From where I can drop the column? To drop the column, existing table only. Okay, from existing. Now how can we do that? Can you guys help me out? Alter table. Yes, please
Table name.
mute yourself. It's fine. Table name. What was the table? I am going to alter sample 3. To drop, you want to use drop keyword. Yes. Yep. Yes. Alter table sample 3. Please mute yourself. We are just getting some disturbance. Okay. Alter table sample 3. Drop. What you want to drop? I want to drop the column. So how I can drop the column? Just give drop column name you want to mention. Commission I want to mention. See, while adding a column, you no need to mention the column keyword. But while dropping a column, you should mention a column keyword. Okay. Bhavya, how can I remember all those things? Practice. Okay. Practice once and twice. First time you will be getting doubt. Second time you will be getting error. Third time you will be getting answer. Okay. No worries if you try for 3 times. Okay. Because SQL Server will not send you a billing. See, command completed successfully. Now, what we have to do? Right click on the sample tree, refresh, expand the columns. See, commission column got dropped. Fine. How can I rename the column? In the Oracle database, we have alter table, table name, rename column, old name to rename, that we have. But in the SQL Server, just right click on the table and we have rename option here. Table, right click on it, you have rename option. Okay, like this only you should do. You don't have other command here in the SQL Server. Okay, you are not supposed to rename the column by using the command. Remember that. You understood how to drop a table, how to add a table. Now, how do I drop a constraint? How do I add a constraint? Okay, that is our next motto. Now, okay, if you're talking about table definition, which is nothing but columns and all, we are using alter command. What about constraints? What about constraint? See, constraints also we are talking about the table definition only, right? So you have to use alter command only. Okay, so where we are using constraints while creating a table. So once the table got created, now I want to add the constraint. In that case, I need to use alter command. We don't have other commands, only alter we have. So alter, same table. What the table? Sample 3. I want to add constraint now. Add. What I want to add? Constraint. So I'm just using constraint. Constraint. See, make sure you should give constraint name here. Okay. So, what was the constraint name? I just want to give it here now. Unique. Okay. Okay, ID should be unique, that I want to give in this. So add constraint. Constraint name is uh, un underscore con. This is my constraint name. What constraint I want to give? Unique. Unique unique of ID. This is how you're going to add a constraint. See, I just add a constraint. This is the constraint name, and give the constraint of which column you want. So why we have to give constraint name here? I did not given any constraint name. See, while creating a table, if you are giving constraint, then you are not supposed to give a name. Okay, no need. By default, one name will be allotted by the server itself. But while altering a table, it's mandatory to give constraint. I am telling you mandatory, which means compulsory. Now let us take off this constraint name, and to execute this one. What it is telling? Incorrect syntax near the keyword unique. So what is the syntax? You need to give here constraint name also. Okay. You need to remember the syntax as well. Okay, right now you're getting any error. You don't know the syntax. You should think logically that okay, might be a constraint name, or else What I should do now? Try different ways. You will get the answer. Okay. I know that I know the syntax. For one time I saw that, and I now I can easily identify. Okay, syntax means okay, constraint name is missing. Okay, let me add one constraint. Okay, what was the constraint I want to add it now? Okay, this one. Now let me create this one. Oh, mm, okay. In the sample three, only one constraint I have. So let me execute this one. Control E. Command completed successfully. Now refresh. Expand constraint. Oh my god, only one constraint I am seeing. What about unique constraint? Where I can see this unique constraint that I have added recently? Where I can see this unique constraint? We have one beautiful table called information schema. Okay, see, everywhere you will be having this information schema. If you guys learning Snowflake, in the Snowflake also we have information schema. Okay, remember, inside the information schema we have many tables which we will give the information about the tables that we have inside the database. Okay, so I just want to see this, see the information regarding this constraint. Now to see the output, I should use select command, because to see means to query, right? So to query something, what was the commands we have? Only one, that is select. So select star from information schema dot. So what, I will be taking this constraint column usage. Now execute this. Yes, see here, the sample 2 table, I have one unique constraint. In the sample 3 table, this is the check constraint I have. In the sample 3 table only, this is the newly added constraint. Okay, how I know? Because this is the constraint name that I have given. See here, this is the one that I have taken here. Good enough? See, this is how you're going to drop a constraint. Now I just want, sorry, to add a constraint, I just want to drop the constraint. How I can drop a constraint? To drop,
Bhavya,
yes,
so even if you do the refresh on top of table, we can get the constraint, right?
here,
Yeah, in the
yeah,
Object
we can
Explorer,
get,
right?
we can do it, but not null, unique, you will not get.
Okay.
Primary key, foreign key, and check constraints, you will get the constraints. But to know the names of the unique key constraint and not null, you need to go for information schema.
Directly you cannot get it,
Okay,
right?
no, directly we cannot. So
Okay.
okay, I'll do refresh. I just done the refresh, right? Now I'll expand this constraint. See, I'm not getting that one.
Yeah,
Only
got it.
check
Yeah.
primary key and foreign key. Only
Okay.
for this we will get. Nice. So to drop a constraint, what we have to do? Alter table sample 3 constraint. So where I have gone? Okay, see, I just missing. So drop constraint. Then here you have to give. Excuse me. Here you have to give constraint name. Now I want to drop the check constraint. I can get it here. Okay. So I can get it from here. Simply I'll be copying this and I'll be taking it here. Constraint name. But what if I want to drop unique constraint? I told you that I will not be getting unique key constraint name here. So where I can get that? in the information schema table only. Okay, just execute this one. Here you will be getting, copy that, paste it here. Okay, to drop a constraint, constraint name is also mandatory. Now it got dropped successfully. Where I can see same in the information schema only, I can see that the constraint got dropped. See, now it is not showing. Okay. See, if you are trying to take a constraint while creating a table, in the back end, it will take some hexadecimal key here. See, it is also looking like the same combination of numericals and alphabets, which is nothing but hexadecimal values. Fine? Good. Okay. What about not null? Can I add not null constraint? If I can add not null, if I want to add not null, what was the rule I need to follow? Okay, this is the thing. If you observe it carefully, see, can constraint be applied at both the column level and table level in the SQL server? This is my first question, or this is my biggest doubt. See, right now we have seen this is the table level of adding constraint. This is the column level of adding constraint. Okay, column level means you need to mention unique of column name. Otherwise, int like that, unique is fine. So column level can be applied, table level can be applied. That I am telling. But see here, not null is a constraint that you are not supposed to add column level directly. Okay, directly you cannot add not null constraint. What we have to do for that? I will tell you. I will prove that also. See, you might get a doubt while I'm doing this thing, while I'm creating the sample for. See, I just created a table. Okay, I just created a table. While creating a table, I have taken not null constraint to the ID column. It got executed successfully. Now, now I have ID column, right? I have ID column in the sample tree. Now I don't have any constraint to that ID column. In the sample tree table, I don't have any constraint. If you want, you can see here. Do I have any constraint on top of the ID column of sample tree? No. Now I want to add not null constraint to this column, which means to this column. To this column, I want to add. See how it is showing here? ID of int comma null, right? Now I want to add add not null constraint existing column. Try to observe it carefully. See, while creating it got successful, but while altering, alter table, what was the table? Sample tree. What I want to do, I just want to add the constraint. Add constraint. See, every time T is missing. Add constraint. What constraint I want to add? Okay, let me take some name. C1 underscore NN, not null. Not null of some ID. So this is how we just saw, correct? Incorrect syntax near the keyword not. Did I missing anything? Did I miss anything? Add constraint, constraint name, and the constraint I just taken. This is how I have done here. This is the biggest mistake we are doing. You are not supposed to add the constraint. You know, you are not supposed to add not null constraint like this directly. No. You're not supposed to do that. Then how can I do that? You can add the column by changing the constraint. Okay, you can alter it. Okay, add, you're supposed to alter the not null, right? So alter what id, right? Id which is of int, which is of not null. I think column need to be mentioned. Okay, now let me refresh this one, expand the columns. Now it got changed, null to not null. And also remember guys, also remember, this is how you're going to alter the not null, change the constraint. See, and also remember, you are not supposed to add a um, primary key constraint when we have null into that particular column. First you have to drop that null and you have to add the primary, that we will see now. Okay, now tell me, constraint can be added table level? Yes. Constraint can be added column level? Yes. See how column level means by using alter command, table level means while creating a table. That we can do it perfectly. Now, the very important constraint, primary key and foreign key. Okay. Now, let me take two fresh tables. Okay. Create table um, sample 5 of here I'll be taking id which is of int, name, directly I'm just taking primary key. Enough, you just mention primary key, that's okay, fine. Name which is of varchar of let me take 20. Okay, this is the table I just created. Now refresh this database, expand the tables. You have a sample 5 table, expand this one. Now in the constraint, do we have any constraints? No, because primary key is a key and foreign key is a key. And also yeah, here the constraints also, the primary key name also it is not showing, right? So which means only for check constraint it will show the name. Okay, primary key and foreign key also the name somehow showing here. Okay, here from here you can get it. Fine. Now I will be taking one more table, create table sample 6 which is of uh, sample 5 underscore 6. Let me take like this, which is of id int. Can I take it like this? Comma name which is of varchar. Can I take it like this? No. You will get an answer. You will get a error. See, incorrect in syntax near comma. So here you want to use reference keyword. Okay, references. This keyword is mandatory. See, foreign key is nothing but an referential integrity. Remember that one. So referential integrity means by using foreign key, you are going to refer some other table. Okay, foreign key table is a child table. Okay, child will always refer to a parent. So now how can I define a parent? So the table which has a primary key, that I can use it here. Okay. So id int foreign key, references. Don't try to take reference, it will show an error. Take references. So what it is referencing? Table name you have to take sample 5 of id. Okay. Now try to create it. See, the command completed successfully. Now refresh this one. See, you need lot of patience in order to understand all this. That is why I am executing command by command. You can take the screenshot of this one. Okay, expand this one. See, foreign key. This is the foreign key. Observe the keys between primary key and foreign key. See, primary key is showing thick red color, thick black color, and it is like an opening one. It is like a, outside showing. Okay, remember that one. If you want, I am telling that by using these keys, these two tables are connected. So I will just prove this one now. So in the database diagram, I can select the tables which I want. This sample 5 I selected, and the sample 6 I selected. See, are these two tables connected? This is indicating that it is a primary key. That is why the key is like this. Here two dots it is showing, right? Which means foreign key, which means duplications of the tables can have. You can have null, you can have duplicate records inside the table. See, that is what we discussed, right? While discussing about primary key and foreign key. What we have discussed while discussing about foreign key. You can have what? We can have duplicate keys. Duplicate keys in that column. We can have duplicate keys, and one more thing, we can have null. We can have nulls and more. A table can have n number of foreign keys, f keys. This you have to remember. What about primary key? For primary key, what are the things? Unique and not null values. Okay, remember this one. So that is why this database diagram is showing this one. Okay, this you might not see in the what is that, Oracle or some other databases, but this you can see in a SQL server. Okay, now I will try to add one more table. So I am just adding table 2. Okay, now this table 2 got linked with any of these tables. It did not linked because no key was there. Okay, to have a relationship, we have only primary key and foreign key relationship here. One should be foreign key and one should be the primary key. What if we don't have primary key and foreign key? How we can relate the tables? How we can have the relationship? Very beautiful concept called joins we have. By using joins, we can combine the tables. We can establish some connection and we can get the data. Okay, no worries in that. Now we just saw while creating a table, we just have like this. What if I want to alter the table? What if I want to add a constraint, add primary key constraint? let me take a tricky table here. Yes, id column with null. Okay, this is the thing. I want to add null constraint now. Sorry, primary key to this constraint. What I want to do? Remember, here is a beautiful concept. To add primary key to the existing column with by default null, with default null. What I have to do? Why I just mentioned this one? Let us try to understand. Okay, so okay, I want to add, right? So of course I need to uh, use alter keyword, alter table sample2, right? Sample2 add constraint. What constraint I want to add? Underscore primary key constraint. con underscore pk primary key of id. Okay, successfully it is not showing any error. Oh my god, what is this error? See, cannot define primary key constraint. Does it showing syntax error? So far we just come across only one error, which is syntax error. Okay, for that you need to remember the syntaxes. See, calculate the errors, try to note down the errors also. If you know the errors, then only you can solve the problem. Now this is the second error. Cannot define primary key constraint on nullable column in a table sample2. Observe carefully, guys. Please observe carefully. It is not telling that you are having a syntax error. No, it is telling that you can't define a primary key. Oh my god, why I can't define a primary key? Because on nullable column you are trying to define it. So you are not supposed to define a primary key. I told you, right? It is a nullable column and you cannot define a primary key. So you cannot create constraint or index. You can't create an index also on top of this nullable column. See, nullable column means what? This column can accept null values also. See, forget about the unique. Whether it has unique or not, it doesn't matter. But the moment you create a table with column, it is going to take null here. Did I mention null anywhere in while creating a table? Let me open this sample2. So did I created anything? No, I just have unique constraint, that's all. But it has taken null. Okay, I think I dropped this one. Okay, unique also it will not show, right? No worries. See, it is not telling that because of unique constraint I am unable to add primary key. No, it is not telling. It is telling that because of null I am unable to add primary key. What we have to do for that? How can we solve this error? Unable to define. Solution. What is the solution? First you need to drop the null here. For that what I have to do? How can I drop null? Don't tell me by using alter command. Okay, you cannot drop null by using alter command. I told you, right? Null is like a most dangerous one. Okay, I can tell you that how we feel if I see minus in the mathematics. Minus is like a girlfriend in the mathematics, right? Similarly, null is also like a girlfriend in the SQL. too dangerous. Okay, now try to remove that null systematically. Okay, we cannot drop the table, we cannot drop the null directly, but what we can do, we can alter that one, like how we have done here. So we just converted null with not null, right? The same thing I'm just doing that. Okay, alter table. Which table? Sample2 table. Alter table sample2, and I want to alter the column, right? Alter column. See, spelling is also important, remember. Alter column, which you know column, id column with not null. Sorry, this also. Print of not null. Now execute this one. The object you done column id. Okay, this object access this column because one or more objects access this column because id failed. Now what I have to do? Also declined. What I want to do? Drop unique key constraint first. Drop unique key constraint. For that I want to do alter. See how you want to remember this one. Don't get panic and don't get how I need to remember all those. Okay, I'm telling, I want to tell you, if you learn all these things, you will be equal to the person who was having 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay, only the people who was having 2 to 3 years of experience, those people will know all those things, and I'm teaching you all those things now only. Okay, remember that. Try to work on it. Don't think SQL is simple as other people told you. Remember that. And don't get panic as well. Alter table. What was the table? Sample2. And I want to drop the constraint. To know the constraint, I need to execute information schema table, right? But right now it is showing, right? Why I want to go and execute that one. I can simply copy this and I will take it here. Now execute this one. Semicolon is mandatory. See, this is the semicolon. This is mandatory. Okay, because it indicates the termination of the command. Okay. Now I will try to take the same command. Now I am just taking it here. So line by line, I'm just taking. See, now it got executed. Understood? So what you need to remember, if you have, if you have, sorry, if you want to alter null to not null, not null, in order to add primary key, then make sure that no constraint was applied to that respective column. Remember this point, that's all. Okay. Okay, now I just removed this one. Now I will be adding. Now I can take this one and execute. Now I will execute this one. See, command completed successfully. Now try to refresh this one, expand the column. See, now I am having primary key. So did I define not null here? Did I define not null to any column? Bhavya, there you have defined. Of course, see, if I define or not define, the moment I take primary key, it is going, if you observe it here, see, not null. It is showing not null. See, did not declare not null to the column in the table 5. Okay, in the sample 5 table, I did not define any not null here. I just defined primary key only. The moment I define primary key, it is going to take not null and also unique. Okay, see, this is how you're going to have a primary key. Like, you should make sure that null should not be there for that column. If you have null, this is the process you want to do. Okay, now can I add foreign key? To add foreign key, do I need all those things? No, because this is the reason. I will not care if you have nulls in that column. I will not care if you have duplicates. Like that, the server is telling us. Okay, so let me take another table which contains null. Yes, null I have, right? So before that, let me go through this one. Sample 2, and let me add one more. Right click, right click on the empty space, add table. Click on add table, try to take sample 1 table. Okay, done. So do I have any relationship between, hey, wait. So do I have any relationship between sample 1 and sample 2? No. No, right? Do I have refresh button here? No, nothing. Let me remove this one, delete this, and try to add this same sample to. Okay, now I don't have any relationship between sample 1 and sample 2. Now I am trying to create it. Sample 2 was having primary key constraint. Now I'll be adding foreign key to this sample 1. So like this only, the table got displayed here also, right? Here also the same, here also the same I have previously before adding primary key. So when I try to add primary key to this column, then it has shown some errors and I just resolved that. Now I am trying to add foreign key to this column only. Help me out to add FK means foreign key to the existing null column. Nullable column. Okay. Now I want to use alter keyword, alter table sample 1. Now I want to add I want to add constraint, right? So you need to mention constraint. So con underscore fk. Now I want to give a reference here. REIGN, foreign key of, I want to mention it column name, ID, references sample 2 of ID. Okay, now execute this one. See, the same definition we are following. See, here also foreign key references sample 5 of ID. Here also the same, but ID, the place of ID got changed. Before it was here. Okay, the same thing, right? Unique of ID, primary key of ID. Here also we have unique of ID. Remember that. Does it shown any errors? No. Simply it got created. Okay, now refresh that and try to expand the column. Now it is showing a foreign key. Okay, now it doesn't change it null to not null. No. Because foreign key will not bother, right? Now see this database diagram. Uh, I want to have a relationship, right? So in the sample 2, I have this table. So I'm just selecting this one. Array, only one is fine. Let's see how it got added. Between sample 1 and sample 2. No. Uh, where is this? Okay, fine. Let me remove this. Okay, one I have, but I don't want this. Oh my god, it got deleted. Fine. Let me take this table. Mhm. FK is sample 1. Okay, add one pair of related. What it is showing. Okay, no worries. Mm, the existing relationship must have at least one pair of related columns. Close. What it is telling? Okay, try to delete this. Delete. Try to add those two tables, sample 1 and sample 2. Okay, why it is not showing it? Does it refreshed? Sample 1 and the sample 2. Now let me establish a connection relationships. This is how you can add to create a new relationship. Okay, editing properties. The tables and the column specification property needs to be filled in the before the new relationship. Okay, I think the data, in that case it can add. Okay, we will try to see after DML. Okay, if the data was there, then directly it can establish a connection. Okay, by using data and all. Okay, but right now we don't have data, that is why it is not taking. We will see it here. We can see the connections, but this and this are linked each other. Okay, that only we have done, right? Sample 2 of ID. Yes. I can prove this, without showing the diagram, because if you try to drop uh, s- uh, sample 1 table, then it is not going to drop table sample 1. Okay, let me drop the sample 2 table. See, couldn't drop object because it is referenced by foreign key constraint. uh, so by this error we can tell that foreign key was sorry, sample 2 was referencing to some other table. Now let me drop this sample 1. sample 1 got dropped. I will tell you why it happens like that. Okay. Tomorrow we will see why sample 1 got dropped, why not sample 2. Okay. Just because we have some relationship, that is why the sample 2 was not dropping. Child table can be dropped directly, whereas parent table will not drop directly. This is the concept that applies here. Tomorrow we will see about that. Okay. So just have a quick revise here. So what we have seen today, so we try to add a primary key and foreign key, and we try to add a primary key with nullable column, and we just faced some errors that we have achieved. And we understood how to drop, add constraints and the columns. Okay. Now my homework for you is, okay, or else my assignment for you is, I just taken here sample 2 of id, which is primary key, right? Now you guys try to take references table of non primary key column and let me know whether you're getting error, or you're establishing any connection. Okay. So what is the task? What was the task for you? Here I have taken table of primary key column, but here you have to take table of non primary key column and let me know how it is acting, whether it was establishing a connection, or getting any error. Okay, that is the first uh, task for you. And the next one is that I just added a column, dropped a column, added a constraint and dropped the constraint. How can I add a data type? Okay, that you can see. The clue is, you can change the data type. See, adding a data type is not possible because you cannot adding, so without a data type, right? So adding a data type means wrong sentence. You can alter a table. How can you change your data type? Okay, by using this command you can change it. Do practice and send me the screenshots of those. Only these two tasks I am giving you. Make sure you have to do it by tomorrow's class. Okay, I'll be glad if you send the screenshot in the group itself. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys, thanks for your time. And tomorrow we will see drop, truncate, and we will directly move on to the DML concept. Okay, very simple. And the last concept I told you, right? Like sample 2 I cannot drop, sample 1 I can drop. That is the concept related to the drop command. I will drop with primary key and foreign key. Tomorrow I will be discussing that. Yeah, that's all for today, guys. If you have any doubts you can ask me. Yeah, if no doubts you can wind up the class. Thanks for your time, have a great day.
Thank you, Varun.
Yeah.